Jane Unchained, a live talk with some of my favorite panelists and Jane Unchained contributors. We've got in the hat, Paige Parsons, Roache, our right-hand person at Jane Unchained, Dani Rukin, our roving correspondent based in Portland, and we've got the one and only Simone Reyes based in Los Angeles. All right, guys, so much happening this week. Incredible, absolutely incredible. If I had to start with something, I would start with the incredible ad that People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals placed, basically saying, America, it's time to move away from meat. This was placed in the Washington Post. It was a full-page ad, and it explains the obvious, that we are in a crisis because of animal agriculture. All the experts concur that the greatest probability is that this started in a slaughterhouse, a wet meat market in Wuhan, China. And now COVID-19 has invaded the slaughterhouses of America and workers are dying. So what's your reaction to PETA coming out and just telling it like it is? Dani Rukin.
All right. Well, it's good to be here. Yeah, in true form, PETA always tells it like it is. And I'm just so excited that, you know, I think this is a breakthrough possibility crossroads for the animals right now. We either have to stop eating and exploiting animals or we are not going to survive. Neither is the earth. So I just laud PETA. It's great.
Absolutely. Simone Reyes.
Well, PETA has from the beginning of time told it like it is. And all eyes right now are on COVID, and so all eyes are on the reasons why these pandemics are coming into view. And we know that with swine flu and bird flu and so many other pandemics start with our abuse of animals. So hopefully people will take notice, they will read this incredible ad that they took out, and they'll start piecing together the ways that we can not only get through this crisis, but avoid all of the other pandemics that will come just like this did right after the other ones.
Now, I want to talk about something that I thought epitomized the attitude of the meat industry toward its workers. We know now that there's a huge uproar and there's a convergence of workers' rights and animal rights because essentially the meat industry is telling workers, with the backing of the administration, it doesn't matter if there's a rampant COVID-19 in these slaughterhouses. We want you to go to work anyway. You don't have much of a choice, and you better go. And even if you die, and there are workers dying right now. And so they don't seem to really care about the workers at all. And let's face it, if you're capable of killing 20,000 pigs a day, you're capable of killing a human being. We know that from serial killers who almost always start, almost invariably, almost always, 100% of the time. I covered crime for years. Serial killers start with torturing animals. So, of course, institutions that systematically torture and kill animals don't see much problem with basically graduating to killing people, because 20 slaughterhouse workers, thousands of them have COVID-19, and now a growing number of them are dying. But I want to get to this one thing. You got to take a look at this. Poultry workers denied bathroom breaks, wear diapers. Paige, as a mother, as a decent American, I mean, what is your reaction to this demeaning, disgusting, on every level report that these poor workers who have no choice really as to what job they're going to have, not only are they going in to risk their lives, but then they're told you've got to wear diapers because we won't give you bathroom breaks? What does that say in your heart, Paige?
Well, I got to say that not only are they having to wear these diapers, but I read that they're also getting infections. So at the expense of someone's taste buds, to me, you're going to put other people's lives at risk. Look, we're in this coronavirus. We've all been home for over 8 weeks because of the animals. And now because of people's consumption preferences. And we're not talking, look, there are millions of vegans that are eating healthy, plant-based lifestyle. Watch the Game Changers. Look at the movie What the Health, Cowspiracy, Earthlings. People are living off of plant-based diets. They're not dying, they're living. And people out there who are consuming animal products are putting other people's lives at stake, literally.
Now, I want to
it's
say,
a serious moment right now. The fact that we've stooped to this, it's a horrible, horrific situation.
I like what you said, stoop to this. This is discussing anybody who is in any way progressive, who in any way considers themselves an advocate of workers' rights, or even just a decent human being, or anybody who would consider eating chickens. Dear God, they are denied bathroom breaks, the workers, killing.
Yeah,
chickens.
Jane.
They have to wear diapers. Go ahead, Dani.
Yeah, that's what I think people, who don't fully understand the situation. This is a human rights issue, and our administration is treating the workers as just as expendable as the animals. They're doing to the workers and to the animals the same thing, which is exploiting them. They don't care. These workers, not only are they wearing diapers, but they're also, there's more suicide rates. There's more drug and alcohol abuse among these slaughterhouse workers. They become desensitized to violence. So there's domestic violence in their homes. It's clearly, we cannot sustain, and all that violence that's going into, that people would be eating that. It's,
well, the idea that you would eat
a wake-up call
that is handled by somebody who can't go to the bathroom. They're going in their pants in an adult diaper because they're being denied bathroom breaks. And the outrage of this sicko, Azar, who is one of the administration's top people, faulted the workers' home and social conditions for meat packing outbreaks. Okay? The health secretary says that workers' home lives, not working conditions, are responsible for coronavirus outbreaks in meat packing plants. The nerve of this vile person, who I feel now horrified that my tax dollars might in any way, small shape or form, go to paying this police salary. And of course, how do we know that this is just bigotry, prejudice, and hatred, and not even a dog whistle, a dog shout, okay, is that the workers in the meat packing plants weren't dying or getting infected before COVID-19. The death rates have skyrocketed amongst the workers because they are going into death traps. Slaughterhouses are death traps right now. Simone?
Yes, of course, so many lives are being lost now due to COVID, but it is completely business as normal, as we have seen, business as usual, to go into a house, and find, carcasses, blood, vats of eyeballs. You're literally feeding the public fecal matter, abscesses with pus. It is a disgusting and unsanitary place, which once people actually see it, they see the inside of a slaughterhouse because of the different groups that go undercover. You can't believe it. So is it absolutely insane that they're requiring diapers on workers? Of course. However, we have known about these workers having to suffer horribly for years, but also the unsanitary conditions. This is not new news, unfortunately.
But now people are paying attention because their lives are at risk. I mean, really, somebody's packing a dead animal into plastic and they're in a place that's completely overrun with COVID-19, where their workers are sick, where people are dying. Why would you want to touch that? Why would you want to touch that? Not to mention that Consumer Reports in 2015 approximately did a study of hundreds of packages of ground beef and found 100% of them contained fecal matter. 100%. Okay, so I have gotten to the point where, to me, this is a horror movie. So what I did today, I just was inspired to make a horror movie trailer about animal agriculture. Check it out, and then we'll talk. All right.
Wow.
Yeah. To me,
I saw that casting by Lucifer.
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah, casting by Lucifer. To me, that's
The devil.
expressing how I feel about animal agriculture, and by extension, the people who are in complete willful blindness. Now, some of them have been presidential candidates. You know, these presidential candidates, and we know animal agriculture is a leading cause of climate change. In fact, there's a new white paper that says it's the leading cause. And yet they go to steak fries and they're eating steak and chicken and eating wings and talking about climate change completely in cognitive dissonance and willful denial. However, there has been a breakthrough. And by the way, Cory Booker, one of the vegan candidates, along with Tulsi Gabbard, were the two who wouldn't fall into that category when it comes to animal agriculture. Well, guess what? We have another breaking news breakthrough to tell you about. Get this. Elizabeth Warren has joined Cory Booker in a bill to shut down large-scale factory farming. Let me show you another headline Newsweek. Elizabeth Warren and Cory Booker joined forces on a bill to ban most factory farming by 2040. This is a huge breakthrough, Simone Reyes. Huge.
It makes me tear up. It makes me want to cry, because activists have been not just warning the public about the health hazards because of, heart disease and because of diabetes and because of, fecal matter in their food and because of viruses like COVID-19. And so many of us want to see that day, in our lifetime. But just knowing that there is a, pot of gold at the end of the horizon, that not only is it our community now that is actually putting a date on perhaps when all factory farms will be non-existent due to the pain and suffering of humans, not just animals, but that actually people like Cory Booker and Warren, like the fact that they are putting their name and their energy behind it, it means that we have really, this is the tipping point, and it's come at unfortunately at the cost of many human lives, but we're here.
We are here, and no longer can people argue that, oh, you need your protein. Take a look at these two vegan bodybuilders who are on our TV show, New Day, New Chef, which is on Amazon Prime. Look at those muscles. The taller guy with the beard was a hunter, grew up as a hunter, and he had a moment of clarity. He is a bodybuilder, a former professional football player. And the other gentleman who has the word vegan on his shirt served in the U.S. military as a vegan, and they are both vegan bodybuilders. Okay. There is no excuse anymore. And this is one of the things that we have to talk about, Dani, is that the mainstream media is still confusing food shortage with meat shortage, and they dance around it. They won't, even question the idea that this is an essential business. Of course, it's not an essential business. It's the reason we have world hunger in the first place, because animals eat so much more than they produce as meat or dairy. Takes 8 or 25 8 to 25 pounds of grain to make 1 pound of steak. The overwhelming majority, 70, 80, 90% of all soy produced is fed to farm animals instead of human beings. And so it's obviously causing the food shortages. It is not the answer to the food shortages.
Yeah, I think the multi-billion-dollar meat and dairy industry is very desperate right now. So I think they're pouring a lot of money into their propaganda and ads that's trying to convince people or remind people that meat, that animal flesh is food and that it's essential. And we know that not only is it not essential, it's killing us. It's killing our health. Eating animals is one of the leading causes of obesity, heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes. It's killing the planet. There is not, before you live. Yes, exactly. I love that. And I want to say that also the industry is desperate. And more people are starting to see the reality, what goes on behind closed doors because of this. And this is a great moment for plant-based alternatives. There is Beyond Meat is Beyond Chicken. I was seeing the Kentucky Fried buckets of chicken, Beyond Chicken. This is plant-based meat. You can't tell the difference. I have non-vegan friends who are now eating Beyond Meat burgers and saying to me, I can't even believe it, Dani. There's no difference. And I believe that if non-vegans who would normally not go vegan for ethical reasons, if they get access to plant-based alternatives, milks, my oat milk, all these things at the same price, it tastes as good or better, it costs the same, and it's just as accessible, I believe that they will transition. And we're at this point, the animals and nature is giving us no choice. We really, if we don't change, it's change or die.
Absolutely. Simone Reyes, you recorded a song that talked about the food revolution. I think I should play it now because it really fits the moment. Simone Reyes on our corner screen there is a country music singer, and let's check out her vegan anthem.
I didn't kill today. I found a better way. Nobody had to die. They didn't even cry. The revolution has begun. You should join us, it's gonna be fun. Go vegan, go vegan, go. Go vegan, go vegan, go. No meat, no dairy, no, no. No meat, no dairy, hell no. Go vegan, go vegan, go. Go vegan, go vegan, go. No meat, no dairy, hell no. No meat, no dairy, hell no. The revolution has begun. You should join us, it's gonna be fun. Go vegan, go vegan, go. Go vegan, go vegan, go. No meat, no dairy, hell no. No meat, no dairy, hell no. I didn't grill that flesh. There was no smell of death. Transform my cooking skills and threw out all of my pills. The revolution starts on your plate. You should join us, don't wanna be late. Go vegan, go vegan, go. Go vegan, go vegan, go. No meat, no dairy, no, no. No meat, no dairy, hell no. Go vegan, go vegan, go. Go vegan, go vegan, go. No meat, no dairy, hell no. No meat, no dairy, hell no. The revolution is underway. You can join us, go vegan today. Go, just go. Go vegan.
Woo! Well done.
Written by Jane Velez Mitchell.
House.
Written by Jane Velez Mitchell.
Go ahead. What?
Written by Jane Velez Mitchell.
Oh,
Can't leave that out.
yeah, but you did such an amazing job.
Catchy
And I'll
tune.
tell you where I got the inspiration for the song. there are marches that happen with the animal rights community. We march, we chant, and one of the chants that often happens is go vegan, go vegan, go. So when I was marching one day, I thought that sounds like a really good song. And so with the help of a great guy in the studio, with Simone Reyes singing, with everybody here, Dani was on it, Paige was on it, all of our vegan contributors were involved. And I played it today because it really is a moment for the revolution, you know, and it doesn't take that many people. I was reminded that it was not really that many people who started the French Revolution, who stormed the Bastille. You know, this is the moment where we all have to rise up and say that any industry that tells its workers, you have to wear adult diapers because we're not going to give you bathroom breaks so that you can go and kill for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, so that Americans at home who consider themselves regular people, according to the administration, okay, and according to certain judges who threw out certain attempts to give these workers some rights, said, well, they're not regular people. I mean, this is outright bigotry and racism, because we know that most of the people in those who are doing the killing in those slaughterhouses are immigrants. In fact, when I interviewed the union worker, the union leader, she said that people speak 30-some languages in the slaughterhouses that she represents, and that the slaughterhouse put up a sign in English about whatever regarding this crisis, and that therefore people couldn't really read it, and they didn't even bother to do translations. And now they have the audacity, this health secretary then blaming them and saying they are responsible because of how they live at home. How do you live at home, Secretary Azar, when we know that the White House now is getting infected left and right with coronavirus? Are we saying to them, well, it's how you live in the White House, you dirty people?
Jane,
No.
I want to bring up Joe Enriquez Henry, who was just recently interviewed. He is the National VP for the League of United Latin American Citizens. He is bringing out and bringing the attention to safety in the workplace, right? But he has also brought forth a call to all American people to go meatless May. Now, this is a gentleman who, I'm not sure if he's vegan, but you know what? He is fighting for the rights of human beings. He's going to be on this show in a couple of weeks. You're going to be interviewing him. And what I really appreciate is he is fighting for the rights and the wake up for the American people to say, hey, go meatless for the sake of these workers, for the sake of your health as well, is what I'm hearing, and for the sake of the right thing to do.
Absolutely the right thing to do. Now, you know, what's really, I find obscene are people who say they are caring, loving, wonderful people, okay? But if you're participating in this industry by subsidizing it, up until maybe a month ago, you could say, well, I didn't know. But now, every night on the nightly news, it is the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak in the United States, along with nursing homes and prisons. Most of the deaths are happening at slaughterhouses, nursing homes, and prisons. Most of the infections are happening at slaughterhouses, nursing homes, and prisons. Now, these workers are not eager for these jobs. They're the only jobs they can get. They don't have slaughterhouses on Park Avenue or Beverly Hills, okay? There is very little choice that they have. And now the administration is telling them, you are an essential worker. You have to go to work. It doesn't matter if there's rampant coronavirus in these slaughterhouses and your coworkers are dying, and we won't give you tests, and we don't care. And I get back to it again. If you're capable of killing 20,000 pigs a day, it's not such a leap to letting people die. the slaughterhouse owners, by the way, the biggest slaughterhouses, Smithfield is owned by a Chinese company. JBS is a Brazilian company. We're not even talking about American companies. Tyson's an American company, but the other two aren't. Those are the big three. And these workers are told they have no recourse. If they stay home, they could lose their jobs and they can't sue. I mean, this is like modern day slavery. Simone.
It really is.
Or Dani.
It really is. And, I've been to slaughterhouses all over the world, and every single one of them has always a massive now hiring sign, all the information you could need, come one, come all, no qualifications needed. It's a toxic industry. It needs to go. I love that Cory and Elizabeth are going, end of factory farming by 2040. I say, let's make it 2030, and that's pushing it. Let's just cross that 4 out and put 3. But I am so proud of them that they are putting their name on that. It needs to happen. And now's never been a better time to get people to switch to go plant-based, and also to get laws to change to eradicate this horrible industry. If we think we're going to have peace on earth while we're slaughtering animals, all the people, I want to say, all of those of you who believe in social justice, who believe in equality and compassion for all, and believe that discrimination is wrong based on being a different form, then you're already vegan. Your values you just need to expand your circle of compassion. You can do it. Going vegan is not difficult. It's just different. And it's the most important decision I and most of the vegans I know, everyone you ask, it's the most important and biggest and best decision we've ever made. And our one thing that we say is we wished we'd done it sooner. It's a no-brainer.
Now, if you want to go vegan, it's very easy. It's very mainstream. We do a daily show here on Facebook at 12:30 Pacific every single day, showcasing vegan recipes. And we more recently turned it into a TV show that is on Amazon Prime. It's called New Day, New Chef. Check it out. Hi, I'm Jane Velez Mitchell. Check out New Day, New Chef. This is a cooking show unlike any you have ever seen before. Fabulous, fun recipes. That are super healthy too. See you there. If you're an Amazon Prime member, it is 100% free. And if you're not, and there are 30 million Amazon Prime members, but if you're not, it's 99 cents. This is done through our nonprofit, completely educational, because some people are still saying, well, what do I eat? Well, you know what? There are really fun recipes, and every single one of them is a comfort food. I mean, we did tacos, we did lasagna, we did hamburgers, all the things that people like to eat. And that doesn't mean that you should eat those comfort foods every day. We also did a Superwoman bowl. Dotsie Bausch, who was an Olympic winner, vegan, eats Superwoman bowls every day. So I feel like right now is the opportunity. By the way, Beyond Meat stock is skyrocketing as people connect the dots that, the slaughterhouse industry is in serious trouble. And people can have the exact same taste without the cholesterol, without the cruelty, without the workers' rights violations, without maybe making human beings stand there killing 8 hours a day wearing adult diapers because the industry won't give them bathroom breaks. I still cannot get past that. Like, when I saw that, I said, it reminds me of the same experience I had when I first saw a pig gestation crate. And I think I have one here to show you right here. That's a crate where pigs are kept the size of their bodies, never able to turn around or even scratch themselves. And when I saw that, I said, no, it can't be. And then I saw a giant concentrated animal feeding operation, which is exactly what Cory Booker and Elizabeth Warren now want to get rid of, these giant concentrated 10, 20, 30, 40, 100,000 animals in a giant windowless warehouse. Okay. And when I saw the pig gestation crates there, I said, I'm embarrassed to be a human being. And when I saw this headline, when I saw the headline today that said that these slaughterhouse workers have to wear diapers because they are denied bathroom breaks, I said, I am embarrassed to be a human being, Simone.
You know, it reminds me of that quote by Leo Tolstoy. And he died in the early 1900s. I think he died in 1910. And so long ago, he said, as long as there are slaughterhouses, there will be battlefields. And here we are, and it is a battlefield. So not only is it a battlefield, the animals are fighting for their lives, but humans are now fighting for their lives based on what happens in the slaughterhouses and the horrific conditions. It's time to make a change. And I think changes are finally coming. Thank heavens that there's that article, that there's not one person, you know, vegan, non-vegan, that can read about human rights happening and wearing diapers in a workplace and not have their mouth hanging open and say something has to change.
Yeah, and I find what's interesting is radio silence from my liberal progressive friends and even certain relatives, okay, who are always advocating and fomenting about injustice. The meat-eating liberal progressives have gone completely silent. Dani, you want to hit that since you deal with a lot of them?
Yeah, well, you know what? I got to say that on a positive note, I'm aware that there are non-vegans on my Facebook page more and more recently. And in fact, somebody, when I lived in Los Angeles, a friend in Los Angeles, she recently posted on one of my threads this week and said, Dani, I want you to know that me and my whole family went vegan a long time ago as a result of your posts. Woo! I couldn't believe it. And I also just want to say, Jane, that there's a lot of people, I think, who are paying attention. So I'm very strategic when I post, because I'm aware that, you know, first I'll post something warm and fuzzy, and then I'll just go right in for the kill, so to speak. And then I'll come back out.
Could that be speciesist?
Go in for the kill of.
In a way, go in for the kill, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a hunting expression.
Myself all the time because it's built into our language.
It's a hunting expression. I'm on a Facebook page called Mind Your Vegan Language, and I've been needing to find out an alternative for chomping at the bit. You know, right?
Yeah.
Think about it, but I'm trying to express, it's like that feeling, but look at what we use. We use animals for every expression that I used to use.
Mm-hmm. I know. Well, I want to join that group because we were even thinking of writing a book that would talk about alternatives. So I want to double back to some of the breaking news that we brought you, because it's been an extraordinary, extraordinary week. As Charles Dickens would say, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. You know, so many people are struggling. Our hearts go out to them. Now these poor slaughterhouse workers who have very little choice of what job are being told they have to go to work. They have to wear adult diapers because they're denied bathroom breaks in many cases. Then they are further demeaned by the health secretary, who says if you get COVID, it's your home life, not the working conditions that are responsible for you getting sick, even though now we have people in the White House who are coming down with COVID. That was the lead story right before I sat down in this chair. Okay? Trump's valet and the press secretary for the vice president, I believe, are the two people. So they've got COVID. Does that mean are they dirty in the White House? Is it dirty in there? Melania, are you dirty? No, we're not going to say that because we're not gross, disgusting, pathetic human beings. Shame on you. Shame on this man. God, you are gross. And the whole industry is completely, utterly gross and morally bankrupt. I think I have to play my trailer one more time. I'm feeling the urge. Shall we? This is the trailer I was inspired to put together today to illustrate how I feel about meat eating right now. Anybody who's eaten meat. I mean, basically, what I'm saying is shame on you if you're eating animals. Shame on you right now. I don't want to shame people. I'm not coming from up here. I'm a recovering alcoholic, a recovering drunk. Okay, I was a blackout drinker. Okay, I was shamed into getting sober. I was shamed into going vegan. Sometimes somebody's got to drop a truth bomb on your head. You know, I mean, this moment in time has just gotten too bleeping sick and demented. It's not just the horrific killing that we see all the time that us as animal activists are forced to endure over and over again, looking at these images of animals being brutalized and tortured and killed by the billions, okay? And it's not just the horror of this industry. Look at this. Does this look like a farm to you? Does that look like a farm? Does that look like a freak show? But now, as workers are dying, and as people who eat a meat-laden diet are getting obesity linked to severe coronavirus disease. I mean, it's killing us. It's killing the animals. It's killing the planet. It's dehumanizing the workers. What else do you need? Simone.
Every single meal that you crave, every single meal, we can veganize it. There are absolutely no excuses. You want a hot dog? We got a tofu pup. You want a hamburger? We got a veggie burger. You want cheese pizza? We've got soy cheese pizza. You want milk? We've got oat milk. We got rice milk. I mean, it's endless. We can veganize everything. Check out Jane's show, New Day, New Chef on Amazon. Those are like the fastest, easiest, things that you probably already have in your cupboard, where you can make everything that you need without the bloodshed, without saying that you don't care about human workers' rights, without saying that you don't care about suffering of animals. It's so important for me to be able to look at myself in the mirror at the end of the day and say, I did my best to have no harm, that I did no harm today. Does that mean that, while you're walking across the floor, that maybe you step on an ant and you kill it? Nobody is perfect. But when it comes to the big things, eating animals, wearing animals, giving money for animal research, we can stop that. It's so easy. We live in a world and during a time where vegan food is delicious. And don't we care about having a sustainable earth for children and for the generations that come after us? Don't we care about having our last days on this earth where we don't want to be fighting diabetes? And we don't want to have osteoporosis. And we don't want to have all of these diseases that we can cut our risk down substantially by eating plants. Why wouldn't we? It's a win-win for every single being on this planet.
Oh, and I forgot one other obscenity. The depopulation. That's what they call it.
Oh, yeah.
When they can't kill them to eat them, then they kill them by the millions. And they call it depopulation.
Euthanizing.
Yeah, euthanizing depopulation when they turn off the oxygen and they let them die over 16 hours, or they stick them in a foam. I mean, this is a Holocaust. I know people sometimes find that offensive. It's a Holocaust of animals.
As a Jew, it's a Holocaust. A Holocaust. This is mass genocide. But this isn't 12 million. This is millions, hundreds of millions a day. If we're capable of doing this to our fellow non-human animals, I wish there was a better way to reference animals. We're animals. We're human animals. Than to say non-human as if we're the center of the universe. But for lack of a better term, we if we're capable of doing this to non-human animals, then we're capable of anything. And guess what? We've already proven it, because look what we're doing to each other. The bullying that we're doing to each other and to ourselves, until we stop internalizing and externalizing this toxic way of treating ourselves, each other, the planet, other beings, people who look different, people who believe different, people who act different. We are not going to survive this. It's obvious. Look what we're doing. This pandemic, this is nothing compared to what's to come.
It's that's the other thing, is that now the administration is trying to suggest that it came from a laboratory in China, in Wuhan, and
it's been proven false.
That's just basically a conspiracy theory. We know that all zoonotic diseases stem from animals. That's why they're zoonotic diseases. But we know that mad cow disease, swine flu, SARS, which is a cousin of this thing, came from also a wet market in China in the early 2000s, MERS. Dani, you have a poem that we did a poetry contest. Do you have a poem that you can read about this? Because I know that we've been doing a lot of different media.
Can you plant the video in your stream?
No, I can't play it. You got to read it live or it doesn't happen.
Okay, well, I'll have to look for it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want to say, well, why don't we go ahead and talk and I'll look for it.
Okay. All right. So what I want to say, as a mother, Paige,
yes,
you have been so, articulate about how, as a mother, it just blows your mind to see what they do with the baby calves, toss them on dead piles, shoot them, or put them in veal crates, how they rip babies away from their mothers, how all the boy chicks are killed. As a mother, when you see what's happening now with the workers going to their deaths as coronavirus takes over the slaughterhouses, and the president says, "Oh, we don't care. Let them all die. As long as we get our steak."
Yeah, I just think these are mothers and fathers and families. They have families. I'm also thinking about the baby pigs that have been euthanized inside their mothers, that they were bred for consumption that they can't process. So they've been aborting them out of these. And I'm thinking about those mother pigs. Are they now going to be inseminated again? Like, are they going to be put back to work?
Right. Let's call it what it is.
Yes.
Okay. As a feminist, I've been trying to explain to feminists that none of these, the obvious, I've been trying to explain the obvious. None of these factory farm animals are making love in these concentrated animal feeding operations. There's a term in the industry. It's called rape rack. They are all raped. It's a rape, abduction, and murder operation. Continue on, Paige.
What I was going to say is I had a conversation with someone today who is a pre-vegan, and this person was telling me that if there were glass walls, it makes me think of Paul McCartney. If the transparency was such that people would know that this is going on a regular basis, then people would be able to choose if they would go ahead and continue to consume. But because of the packaging, the marketing, the consumerism, advertising, like I said, that people are under the guise, mothers who see these milk cartons that show baby cows with their mothers, in the fields. Basically, people think that there's, they're probably killed humanely or
I don't want to give
kindly.
everybody a pass, okay? I don't want to give everybody a pass. It reminds me of when I was in my alcoholism, and I would try to minimize, justify, rationalize. Oh, it wasn't that bad. Oh, well, I didn't kill anyone, it's okay. I made a fool of myself, big deal. No, it was I experiencing incomprehensible demoralization and moral bankruptcy. That's what until I hit a moment of clarity and was able to see myself in the mirror as that person who I really was, I didn't get the help I needed. I didn't switch. And now I'm 25 years sober. But I don't want to, I don't want to give my old self a pass. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to give people a pass. There's too much information out there. You have to engage in willful blindness not to see that this is a hellhole in every shape, word, concept of the form, that animal agriculture is just a horror show. And if you buy bacon or ham or pork or beef or chicken, you are participating in the horror show. You might as well be killing them yourselves, except you can distance yourself and make these poor bleeps who have no other choice go out there and have to wear adult diapers and kill for you so you can run around saying ahimsa and I'm Buddha and I'm this and I'm that and put signs outside your door that say do everything with love. Right?
Well,
you can pat yourself on the back about what a great person you are.
But my point is, at some point, each one of us, every person who went vegan wasn't vegan before the point. So my point is that, yes, I agree with you. However, we also have to meet people where they're at, literally MEET, and then wake them up. And this is great because this is what this show's doing. This is what the media is doing now, is showing what's so. And what's so is that these workers are human beings, just like you and me. And because somebody has a preference on their plate, they're going to allow for another human being to go through this kind of, horrific conditions for their preference. That's the point. So wake up.
Thank you, Paige. Okay, Dani, did you find your poem?
I did.
Okay.
I did. Okay. So I wrote a poem, and April was National Poetry Month. So we at Jane Unchained decided to do a vegan poetry jam challenge, and we did. It was on Instagram, and it was a lot of fun. So a lot of us wrote poems, and here's my poem that I wrote for, it's called Our Corona. Okay, it's animals in crates, helplessly clinging to life, meet a gruesome fate. Italians singing alone and together, balconies and windows ablaze, spirits intact. Toilet paper sales skyrocket as the market plunges. We cancel everything except our indiscriminate and unrelenting slaughter of the most vulnerable among us and call it food. Mad cow, swine fever, bird flu, SARS, MERS, COVID-19. Zoonotic diseases of the human heart. Feeding only our self-serving narrative that it's the cycle of life. Tell that to the victims straight to their face. We bury and burn them alive and call it culling. We say that they're contaminated and exterminate them, exterminating only our humanity. We plunder Mother Earth and take her for all she's worth, yet she holds the key to our existence.
Beautiful. Whoa. Wow. That was beautiful. And we're going to send $200 to Rowdy Girl Sanctuary. Did we get 10?
Yes.
Did we get 10?
Yes, I think we got about that. Yes.
Good.
And
Okay,
I'm going to be
we'll
doing
make
a
sure-
show on Jane and Chain called The Animal Hour. So
Yes.
watch out for that. And we're going to probably have some of the Vegan Poetry Jam Challenge participants on there. Also, I want to say I'm going to be doing Lunch Break Live this Wednesday. And for those of you who are just thinking about even eating vegan a little bit, then you should come onto you should join us and watch the show, because I'm going to be making, like Simone says, we can veganize anything. I'm going to be veganizing an Italian pasta sausage classic, and
yum,
don't miss
yum,
it.
Yum. All right, ladies, it's been a fascinating hour. I appreciate all the work you all do. The time has come. The revolution has begun. Guys, join us. We have a lot of fun. We really do. We're a happy bunch. What?
Rise up like Hamilton.
Rise up. Rise up. Join us. Bye.